My name's John Arnott. I'm Manager of Horticulture at the Royal Botanic Gardens, Cranbourne. I've been here for, it's just coming up for 8 years, and my passion, love, interest in eucalypts goes back to when I was a child. The eucalypts are made up of three genera. 830 odd species are associated with the genus Eucalyptus, and then there's the genus Corymbia, and there's over 100 species in the genus Corymbia and just on a dozen species in the genus Angophora. So with such a large group, nearly 950 species associated with the eucalyptus group, it's not surprising that there's a whole range of different forms. The eucalypts are ubiquitous in the landscape, occurring in every state, and certainly a big emphasis of the Australian garden is on displaying, interpreting, knowing and growing eucalypts. The other element that we're trying to capture in the Australian garden is the horticultural potential of eucalyptus as garden plants. Now there's a suite of eucalypts that you wouldn't contemplate growing in gardens, in domestic gardens, because they're just too big. But there's a range of eucalypts that are the right size, the right shape, the right form to be considered really great garden plants. We completed the garden in 2012, so the eucalypts that we're looking at here, some of them are approaching 5 or 6 years old compared to 150 years old up at the Melbourne Gardens. Eucalypts occur all across Australia, so they're pretty widely adapted to a range of different soil conditions and growing conditions and horticultural requirements. So there'd be a eucalypt which would be nicely matched to the prevailing environmental conditions of just about any garden in Australia. Indeed, there's a whole range of eucalypts which make for great garden plants. Their flowers, their form, particularly multi-branched forms such as mallees, they're the right size, they're the right shape. They're not going to be huge trees in domestic gardens. They're really appropriate for gardens. The nice thing about eucalypts in a garden is that they're really good at attracting local wildlife and contributing to urban biodiversity. I think the really great botanic gardens are botanic gardens that are hubs, and they're places where there's lots of links and lots of relationships with kindred organisations and people with similar interests. There's a clear link between the Australian garden here and the emphasis on eucalypts and the Dale Trust, with the sort of the background and their interest in eucalypts as well. It's a nice association.